Good evening. I got a serious question that I want to ask. I got a serious question I want to ask everybody. Because I'm always a person that I think ahead. Like I put myself in situations in my mind if it was to happen. So with that being said, for the for the one person that stayed in here, let me ask you this. What if one day, if you are a believer, you who I'm talking to right now, if you're a believer, what if one day the government say, in order for you to eat, in order for you to eat, you or your family, you have to take a mark. But you know that if you take this mark, after you die, you won't go to heaven. You won't go to be with God. What would you do? What would you do? Most people don't want to talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm thinking ahead. Thinking ahead. What would you do? The baby is hungry, and you have to make that hard decision. What would you do? Would you take that mark, feed the kids, and then your eternal destiny has already been set in place? What would you do? What would you do? I'm gonna give. I'm not. I'm putting that out there. I'm putting that out there, but I'm also hang around because I'm gonna give you a solution to what. And the question is, if the government or if someone say to you that you, they say to you, you take this mark, then you can't eat unless you take this mark. You got a crying baby, you got a family, you have to take this mark. But if you take this mark, you won't make it to heaven. You will not make it to heaven. What will you do? Now you got to hang around, and I'm gonna tell you the answer to that question. So when that time come, you'll already be prepared, and your family. What would you do? Think about that. See, because we need to be preparing our family, our kids, about spiritual matters. We need to. That that is that is the key. We need to be preparing for when a time like that come. We need to. We need to. We need to be preparing our kids for that time when it comes. Because if they know Christ, they won't take that mark. Like you won't take that mark. And the whole family will be good. But if you don't do that, then it will put you as a father or a mother in a situation. So we have to be preparing ourselves for that time because we're going to be looking at a time like that sometime soon. I can't put a date on it because no one knows the time or the hour. No one. No one. So that's just a thought. What would you do? The three people, the two people that's in here now. What would you do? My adventure for all. I know Jesus first. Okay. Good answer. Good answer. Yeah. But that pressure is going to be on you to take that mark, though. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Your flesh is hungry. You can't get food. They also threaten to turn your electricity off. They threaten to fire you on your job. What will you do? What will you do? Your family turn against you. All this stuff is happening in the midst of this. The pressure is on. What will you do? What will you do? We must think ahead like that. I think ahead like that all the time, but we must think ahead like that. The what if, when we're not in the situation, I will be a part of the homeless population until my father returns. Okay, that's right. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. What I'm asking, yes, that's right. That's right. Exactly. See, most people on this internet, they don't want to talk about stuff like this. They really, really don't want to talk about it. But we must think about it because if it arises, we have to be able to know what to do. You got to trust God to the end, to the very end, whatever that looks like. Now, there's a verse, it's a story in the Bible, or it's a parable where it talks about 10 virgins. 10 virgins. 5 of the virgins was prepared for the bridegroom. The other 5 was not prepared for the bridegroom. So the 5 that was not prepared, they came to the 5 that was prepared and asked them for their oil. They came and they asked them for their oil. But the bridegroom, while they trying to get oil, the bridegroom came and they missed it. It's a lesson to be learned in that parable. We can learn something from that parable. Yeah. So the question is, I don't think I got no new people in here yet. There's 2 still in the chat. Um, yeah, the Bible is the that's that yeah. That's where it's at. Well, that's a good question. You got to do what God says, no matter what. That's the bottom line. You got to do what God says. Yep, got to. So this is a thought I'm throwing out there. If you just came in the chat, um, I'm talking about if a day came where you couldn't buy, sell, or eat or anything, and you had to take a mark, but that mark would set your eternal destination in place, what would you do? And we don't have to go through that either. That's another thing. Because God is going to take his people before the world gets too crazy. He's going to take his people before the world gets too crazy. And the ones who are left, they're going to have to deal with that situation that I just said. Yep. So, what will we do? What will you do? You know, there's no need to wait till the time comes to decide what you're going to do. That don't even make sense to do that. When you can make your decision before that time comes, everybody's going to have that answer. Everybody. It says that every knee will bow. It didn't say you want if you want to. It says every knee is going to bow and confess that Jesus is Lord. So it's something to think about. Yeah. Yeah, this we gotta think like that. I think like that all the time. All the time. You know, it kind of keeps you like when you think like, what if this situation or this situation, it hasn't happened, but you think as if it has happened, then it helps you. You're ahead of the game actually, because most people they wait they wait up until the time where things are happening and then they have to make that hard decision. That's how most people operate. They operate exactly like that. They do that in everything, in all parts of their life, in every time something comes up, as for like Christmas and stuff like that. People are last minute by nature. That's what they do. That's what they do. And the thing is, it's great that we have these platforms that we are able to share God's truth. And people use these platforms for all the other kind of foolishness. Now, I also want to let you know that everything that we hear, we are going to be held accountable for the things which we hear. What I mean by that, that means like if somebody shares something or you read something, you're going to be held accountable. You're not going to be held accountable for that which you don't know, but that which you know, you're going to be held accountable for that. Most people don't want to hear that. It's the truth though. And so 10 people in here. Let me set the situation up for the 10 people that just, I mean, I don't know how many is in here that wasn't in here when I first started this live chat. I'm talking about what if a situation comes up and you have to take a mark, or you couldn't eat or your family couldn't eat. What would you do? With your decision, if you decide to take the mark, your eternal destination is not good. It's actually bad, and there's no reversing it. What would you do? What would you do? About 7 people in here. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? That's the $1,000,000 question. I just determined in my mind that I was going to give out God's information. And whatever people did with it, they did with it. And I think that's a great thing to do. We have so many ways to share information today. And like I said, and I say again, people use all these platforms for all the wrong stuff instead of the right stuff. Yes, they do. All the wrong stuff. They share it, they do these platforms. But I'm just determined that I'm going to give God's truth every day. If you wasn't in my last, my last live chat, I was talking about like spiritual warfare is real. I was talking about I went to the church 2 weeks in a row and didn't go in for some reason. Spiritual warfare is real out here today. And the devil is about souls, like God is about souls. But the devil, what he wants to do is for your soul to be damned. Yes. He wants your soul to be damned. Totally 100% separated from God. That's what the devil have in mind. And he coming for you. So, yep, he coming for you. But this is a good live chat. I think my live chats are gonna be real, you know. Jesus, the thing about Jesus, when you read through the Bible, he said, he who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of God is saying. So when you put information out there, like I'm doing right now, it's difficult information. It's tough. It's tough for people to hear it. And a lot of times it'll have a person thinking. Like, I see people coming in and out. You know, it'll go from 10 to 15. Some people they just browsing from live chat to live chat, trying to they got itching ears, trying to find something that's appealing to their flesh. And some people really, really want to hear the truth. And that's what I try to do over here. That's what I try to do. And by the way, you know, I haven't, and like the live chat, the last one or this one, I have not mentioned to anybody subscribing to the channel. I'm just going to, I'm just going to trust God. I'm going to put God's truth out there. And whoever feels led to subscribe to my channel, they'll subscribe to my channel. Who is not, they're not. Those who have an ear to hear, they will hear. Now, let me go back to what I was talking about. That's a tough decision to make if it had to be my family eating and me eating. And then with this tough decision that I have to make, that if I make it, I'm totally separated from God when I die. It's tough. But God is a loving Father. All our lives, He's given us an opportunity to do the right thing. We got to totally trust. We have to trust Him with everything that's within us. We must. Only He can save us. Only He can. We can't save ourselves. And so, you know, we got to keep that in our minds. I think about this. I think about it myself, I think about it. There's no need to wait till the moment to happen to you to make a difficult decision, when in your mind you can kind of prepare yourself even before that moment comes up, how you will react. I give you another situation. Let's say someone comes up to you and asks you, no, they don't ask you, they tell you to denounce your faith. Are you gonna be dead? You're gonna lose your life if you don't. What would you do at that very moment? Now you don't have time. It ain't, you don't have time to think about it. It's a decision that has to be made right there, then and there. It has to be made right there. Your mind has got to already be made up. I lost 3 people that fast. That tough question. And that's how it is. That is exactly how it is. Lost 3 people. It was 6 people in the chat. When I said that, and I just lost 2 here, I'm used to it. It's the internet. But I will tell you, it's those 5 people that just got off. This is something. They stayed on here long enough to get these minds to thinking. They got off the live chat, but I guarantee you, they're thinking about what I said. And I'm not on here to try to put anybody down or to make myself so much better than the next person. Me personally, everybody has to make that decision in their heart. That tough decision. We can't wait to the last minute when it's upon us and decide that we're going to make a decision right then. Because that decision is not going to be a good decision. So, yeah. I know these lives, I be having lives talking about some serious stuff. It ain't always feel good type of stuff that I talk about. Because we can't go with feel good all the time. We can't go with what feels good all the time. It's just like, I give you an example. It's just like your body. We always chasing taste. But did you not know that bitter is good for your liver, good for your body? Bitter, like a lemon and all this kind of, these bitter herbs, they're actually good for your body. But they don't taste good. So I say that to say this, that feel that you wanna listen to somebody that first of all gonna have you thinking. You don't want to go and listen to somebody that they're always telling you something to feel good all the time. You don't want to listen to a person like that. Your flesh wants that, but your spirit that is not about feelings. Your spirit is about truth. That's what it's about. So that's what it's about. So got one person still hanging in there with me. Mm-hmm. It's been a long day. Oh, got 4 people just jumped in. Since you 4 are in here, I want to ask you a serious question. The 4 that just came in. Serious question. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming in the house. I want to ask you a serious question. The 4 that just came in. Oh, there's 2 left in here. I can ask the 2 that's left. Let's say one day you're asked to take a mark and to eat, to sell. I lost another one. To eat or sell, but if you take this mark, you won't be with Jesus when you die. That decision, the eternal, it's not gonna be good. You'll miss heaven. What would you do? When you got the baby crying, the baby is hungry, your wife is hungry, and you have to make this hard decision. What would you do? Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Definitely something to think about. But it's good to think about it now versus thinking about it when it's upon you. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? So it's definitely something to think about. Like when I listen to channels, or I go on channels, I'm not always looking for someone who I can hear what they want, what I want to hear. I don't go on channels for that. I go to channels who is going to tell me some difficult things about life. But that's what people do. That's what they do. They do that every day. Called having itching ears. So, what are y'all thoughts? I also want to mention the Bible say God is not the author of fear nor confusion. He is clear. He is clear as white or black. It's no gray area with him. Light or darkness. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want a God that's going to tell you the truth about yourself. You want that in your life. You want that in your life. Yeah. You want a God that's going to tell you the truth about yourself. That's important. Y'all know what? 2 live chats. 2 live chats, which I have a lot to say. I have so much more to say. Um, but it's almost 2 hours with just, me sharing this live chat and the last one. By the way, if you haven't subscribe, and go and check that last live chat out. I share some really important information. And so I took 2 valuable hours of my time in the day to come on and share 2 important messages to this world that we live in. Yes, I did. The thing about the internet I like the most is that it reaches places that I could never reach. I've had people from India, Russia, like, wow. So, but we need to be using the internet, for Not for all this foolishness that we use it for, but to educate people about different things. So I pray that everyone got something out of what I've been sharing. And if you missed any of this live chat, you came in late, go back, listen to the replay, and I think it'll be of value to you. I believe it'll be of value. I'm wondering, did any of these people go to church today? Oh, it's sunny here today, but that's what I got today. If you got any comments, put it in the chat. Put your comments in the chat. Setting at 40 minutes now. Been on 40 minutes. Yep. Let's see here. I know this guy Ryan, he's not in here. He said, hey. DFB, hey. Somebody, Jeffrey Contra, I will cry. Aubrey, hi. Hunter, hi. So, y'all got anything? If not, 3 people in here. Where all 3 of y'all from? Another thing too. Oh, somebody left. Yeah, I'm at the end of this live chat though. Like I said, if you missed some of it, go back and replay it. It's only 40 some minutes as of right now. So people use this internet boy for something. All kinds of craziness. What the world? Y'all hear that? That being said, that EMS just going there to pick somebody up. That person didn't know that last night they was gonna have this situation today. They didn't know. So now the EMS, I'm not sure what the situation is, but now the EMS is going to pick them up. We never know. Look, we wake up in the morning, we never know what's going to happen during the day. We don't. I was something came up in my feed. They was talking about I don't know if it was the anniversary of Kobe Bryant, that accident he had. I don't know if it was the anniversary of that, but that came up, and so I tapped on it, and it went back to that morning. Now Kobe was he was at a Laker game, and LeBron was giving him kudos and this, that, and the third. And that was the last time Kobe was seen, was going to be seen then. So I was reading or looking up the events of that day with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant woke up that morning. The idea is that he and his daughter were going to take a helicopter. I'm not sure where they were going, but they were going somewhere. I don't know all the details too. I can't remember all of it right now. But the point is, he woke up that day. It was just like any other day. It's just like any other day. It's like when we wake up each morning. It's just another day. But what we don't realize is that could be the day. That could be the day where it's the end. And like I said, the events of the day. I mean, in his mind, he had everything planned. He probably had talked to his wife about, where they were going to eat dinner at later, and talked to all of his friends and stuff like that. And then the plane crashed. And then the plane crashed. Now, I say that to say this. I don't say that in a way because every life is precious to God. But I say that as for we don't know when our end is. God knows, but we don't know. So, we just got like I said, we don't know. We don't know. Just like I woke up this morning. Got up. Got ready as I normally do. Started on my way. But I don't know what the events of the day is going to be. only God knows what the events of the day going to be like. God knows who I'm going to meet, that person he want me to share with. God knows that person who's going to cut me off in traffic and I'm going to get angry at them or they get angry at me. God knows what I'm deciding in my mind that I'm going to eat for dinner later. He knows all these things. So we have to trust him wholeheartedly. Put all our cares on him, for he cared for us. We must do that. We must do that. So I was, like I said, it struck my interest with Kobe. You know, I was saddened by it personally, me personally. It was a whole, I mean, it's just, it was the same thing. Um, you don't want to see no one die. Ultimately, you don't want to see no one die. That's the truth. You don't want to see nobody die. But it's definitely something we need to think about. You need to keep in mind. But I'm about to get off here because my phone about to go dead. Been on here almost an hour. My last chat was almost an hour. I hope you got something from it. I'm just going to continue to do these sermons, mini sermons, um, sharing this information. Have a great day. Peace.